Hi and welcome to the channel. Today I'm going to give you a garden tour and a quick update as to the progress so far with all the changes that we've been making in the garden. So many changes have been taking place in the garden, and I know many of you have been curious as to how far we've got with things so far. And well, I'm going to show you. Firstly, I do want to show you some cuttings that Paul had done, some forsythia cuttings, and these have done really well. Now, they're just cuttings from the forsythia, which is at the other end of the garden, right at the back behind the summer house, and they are doing really well. So literally from one original shrub, we've got 4 more potential shrubs for the garden, either to use in the garden or to give away. Who knows? We're not decided what we're going to do with those yet. Now, onto Hydrangea Annabelle. Some more cuttings were done by Paul. These were placed into the ground. So when he did the cut back, so a few weeks back, we did the cut back, and Paul literally placed the twigs, the sticks into the container, and look how well they're doing. So we've got lots more Hydrangea Annabelle to enjoy, because this is a really great one. It's big, it's blousy, beautiful white blooms, and you know that this is the more traditional Annabelle, but there's actually sturdy Annabelle as well. Is that right? Is it sturdy? Strong Annabelle, that's it, I'd forgotten. Strong Annabelle, and you can't beat it. I just like it. I think it's a really lovely one. And you can't beat hydrangea in general, but I just love the blooms on this one. They're brilliant white, and they're just so pretty. Really nice to look at and really cheery in the garden. Now, this is what I want to show you. This is the exciting bit. In case you wonder why I look a little worse for wear, I've spent the whole of the Easter break so far that I've been off school ill, so I'm out and about now at least. If you take a look here, look at the progress, look at the changes, so different. All these plants, it's like being at the nursery, isn't it? Literally, it's like being at a garden nursery or plant centre with all these plants lined up, ready to go in. Lots of different plants. Lots of changes, lots of soil. You saw the big mound over there before. Well, look at the changes now. Lots more soil. The path is in. So obviously we're going to add to this, add more slate to it. And there's just this side to do. But there's lots of pots here as well, and lots of things that are going to be placed strategically in this part of the garden, other parts of the garden. But the main change is this side, and I just love what's going on here. Paul has done a lot of the work, because, well, he's done all the work because I've been ill and I've not been much use at all whatsoever. So he's been working hard in the garden, and this is just stunning progress. It really is. I'm so impressed by this. Obviously, the plants that were in the original long little border there, they're going to have to come out and be placed appropriately. But we can deal with that when it's time for planting. Everything will be taken out, put into pots. Everything will be placed. So we'll have plants placed on the soil where they're going to go in groupings. And I'm loving the Tiarella, actually. I can't take my eyes off that. That is really nice. If you've not grown Tiarella before, we first used this, I think it was at, it was Chatsworth, wasn't it? We first met this plant at Chatsworth, and when we worked with our friend Sharon Hockenhull on a garden that she was doing, and I'd never known Tiarella, and I bent down to it, and I thought, wow, it's scented. What a beautiful scent as well. So if you've not grown Tiarella before, give it a go. This one's called Pink Skyrocket, really nice one. It's a really lovely one, that. But just bending down now, even though my nose is still bunged up, I can smell an amazing scent. Absolutely beautiful. And you can't beat this Brunnera. Look at that for colour. Lovely blue Brunnera. That is a gorgeous one. And this one is Alexander's Great. So Alexander's Great. What a really nice variety. Love the variegated foliage, but the blue flowers are what does it for me. I really like blue flowers in a garden, and they're quite rare really when you think about it. So it's just so nice to have something blue in the garden. Now, moving on, There's lots going on here. This is going to be levelled. This area is going to be levelled. And we've just placed these down. This is just to give us an idea of how many of these that we actually need. But these have just been placed on. Obviously, there's going to be gravel going down the works. It's going to look fantastic when it's done. Don't worry, it's not going to stay like this. This is just to give us an idea of spacing for the seating area, because the seating area is going to come here. There's going to be 6 of those decking panels going down. So 2, 4, 6 brings us to about here. Okay, and there's going to be dining table, dining chairs, so a nice space to sit out and enjoy. It's going to be lovely, and we're hoping to get a wildlife pond going on over this area. And this area is actually where there used to be a pond years and years ago. So back many decades ago there was a pond here. The line is still there. There's evidence. Electricity has been cut off, but it's still there, and the pump for the pond is there as well. So it's all still around, but the pond's going to go here, the wildlife pond. Just notice Dicentra spectabilis, okay? Dicentra spectabilis, what a plant. Look at that, also known as bleeding heart. Such a gorgeous plant, that. I absolutely love that. This was given to me, not this plant, but this was given to me by a neighbour across the backs when I was about 12, Rob and Claire. They gave me a piece of this and I stuck that in my mum's garden. It was absolutely amazing. I loved it. Fell in love with that plant straight away, and then Paul bought this not long ago. When was it? Last year. I think it was last year. We're doing really, really well, and I'm doing really well considering how ill I actually feel. Ribes, white icicle, that's gone over, but still looking good. Still looking good. I love the foliage on this when it's on a rainy day, especially in summer. Just the scent from that foliage. Really nice, unusual scent. Very, very nice. Now, come over this way, because it's just there. I can't set my eyes off this, because I know that once this is done eventually, it's going to be absolutely amazing. You know, just imagine this. It's going to be completed. There's going to be stones. It's going to be levelled. We're going to have the decking panels on there. We're going to have the seating area. It's going to be great. Honestly, it will not look like this, but this is just to give us an idea on what's going on. The raised bed is still staying there. Obviously this will be level. Raised bed's still staying there. So that's a great addition, that. It's lovely. It's gorgeous. Now, rose of sweet honey. We got this rose because our cat daughter, Honey, was my nan's cat actually, and my nan's no longer with us. And Honey is such a beautiful cat, and we got this rose because it's named Honey, or Sweet Honey. And it has a gorgeous scent. It doesn't have a very great life if you bring it into the house or as a cut flower. It's not the best for a cut flower. So if you want to cut flowers, rose of sweet honey is not for you. But if you want scent in the garden to stay on the rose itself, you know, stay on the actual shrub itself, then this is the one for you. Now, rose of sweet honey, Paul did lots of cuttings. There's loads still on the stand over there. I forgot to show you the stand. But look, these are cuttings that Paul has done from rose of sweet honey, and look how well they're doing. They are doing so well. I am so impressed. We've got roots at the bottom there as well. They're absolutely amazing. I'm so impressed by this. Really am. And what we're thinking of doing is continuing rose of sweet honey along. So perhaps one there, okay, and another one in between. Geranium ibericum. Now, I'm not going to stand on that actually because it's not level. Geranium ibericum flowers once, but this Paul's favourite geranium. It's beautiful blue flowers, absolutely gorgeous saucer shaped flowers, really lovely. I think it's June it flowers, if I remember correctly. May, June. Yeah, I was thinking it's like late May, isn't it? So this one is a great one, great geranium to get, Geranium ibericum. It's worth the wait. I like the foliage as well. The leaves are quite unusual. The foliage is quite unusual, and I do like it. And I think it's a nice one to grow, but it does only flower once. So even if you cut it back for a bit of neatness, it's not going to flower again for you. But we're thinking of having another rose of sweet honey around mixed in between, because then that will mean that once the geranium goes over, Geranium ibericum has finished flowering, then we've got the roses to continue going throughout the season and into the autumn. Strawberries looking great on the planter there. They've just been placed there temporarily, but they're doing really well. Got lots of flowers on there already. And I'm sorry, my favourite tree, which is Ben's tree, which is Prunus nigra. Look at that. It's come on so much this year already. In spring, early spring, sorry, late winter, it wasn't looking that much different, obviously, and then it's just come onto its own. I think it's gone much, the stem's gone much thicker as well during this first part of the growing season already, so it's doing so well. And like I say, it's a memorial tree, always nice trees to have, as is Rosa Super Dorothy. So Paul's mum was Dorothy, really beautiful rose, actually a rambler, and that is doing well. And like I've said, this year I want her to go literally up to the height of the fence. She's going to be lovely. She has the most gorgeous pink flowers, not very great scented, they're not really very scented, but great flowers, stunning capacity for flowering, absolutely amazing flowers. Now, geranium Mrs. Kendall Clark, quite often refer to this because I really like it. She's quite a thug, and she has the most gorgeous flowers on when she does flower. Again, she flowers once, but she's well worth the wait, really is. The Eupatorium's coming up there, look, getting some heights on the Eupatorium. And also our Calamagrostis at the back there, Carl Forster. Look at that. These are going to be so high. You know, these grasses are going to be the height of the fence, literally. At the minute, everything's just so small, but in time, you just know that everything's just going to take off, and it's going to be so lovely. I love this time of year. It's a promise of what's to come. So much is going to happen. We've got Rebecca. Now, in case many of you don't know this, during dry spells in the spring, I like to give Rebecca quite a good watering. And that's because it tends to help the flowering when it comes to later on in the year when it does flower. It was something that I saw on television quite a long time ago, and I've always done it. Looking really good. Oh, B was just enjoying the tulip then, look, it's hanging around the tulips. Tulips looking good, just about to go over, but they're still looking great. Regards to our narcissus, so we've got silver chimes, and the other one was martinet as well. So silver chimes, martinet, they're just going over. What you do with these is when they're spent, it's okay to literally take those off, okay, take the spent flowers off, but leave the stems on. Allow it to focus its energy on going back into the plant rather than producing seed, because that's not what we want. We do not want it to produce seed. So I'm actually going to take those off. But we're going to keep those on because we want it to, its energy to go back into the bulb. That's what we want. That's the priority. Now, over here, lots of different things going on here. We have so many exciting things happening. We have some geum here. So these are bare roots that have been potted on. So we've got geum there, looking really, really great in its pot. We've got astrantia, some astrantia. Really nice looking, that. I love that glossy foliage. And we've got stachys as well. These are bare root, looking great in the containers there. Looking really, really good. Paul's done a really good job of those. Looking amazing. Wild strawberries. If you look at the wild strawberries, they're really great at the minute. I love to eat those as the season progresses, but there's a story behind them. That one's okay, that container's okay, but this one's all cracked. This one round here, this is my favourite one as well, but it's all cracked. So it's just had it, so they do need to be repotted on. So we need to be careful during dry spells, making sure that they're well watered and things, because there's a lot of air getting in there. But look, they're going to be lovely, and they're going to provide us with lots of fruit. Everything looking good over this end. We've got the spent grass all piled up there, back to back. We've got the Ribes sanguineum looking good behind. If you want to come and have a quick look, that's just about to go over now. But I was really liking that with the white of the magnolia flowers as well. But the buddleia's had a prune and it's looking amazing. That's going to be lovely. Lovely buddleia, that one. I really like that one. Now, going on to the other side. We're doing so well. Asianothus, still waiting to burst into flower. Lots of good stuff going on in this border. The phlox is doing great. Now, Liatris spicata. Look at that. That is so lovely. Now, Paul's give it a bit of a tidy up. Could do with a bit more, but we'll do that. We'll sort that. There's such an amazing plant. It's going to be beautiful when it flowers. And have you noticed, we think that these are lots of seedlings coming up there throughout, literally throughout the entire container, which is going to be really lovely. That is so nice, such a welcome sight. And this has been stored down here during the winter. It's looking good. Just wants tidying up, and then we'll give it a top dress in a compost, and that's going to be great for the summer. That really look forward to that because it's a lovely plant. Budley is doing well and coming back nicely as well. Yeah, what I've noticed is since we've taken the rockery down, since Paul demolished the rockery, we've noticed that this lawn actually appears bigger because the height of the wall was sort of like making it look smaller, if that makes sense. So yeah, so liking the size of the lawn now, and we're liking the fact that we're going to have lots more garden space, lots of space over here for planting, because this, let's face it, as gardeners, this is what we want. This is what it's all about. It's not about that lawn over there. The lawn's nice to sit on. It's nice to lie down on in summer, okay? But this is what it's about. It's about the planting space. And we've got lots of planting space here. Lots of soil as well, but there's going to be lots of plants in this whole area. If you think about it, it's going to be filled with plants, and that whole side as well over here. So the other side of the path, remember, all this is going back as well. There is a pathway along here. There's flags along. They are staying. They are staying where they are because it's for access. It's a good idea to have that little path there. We're going to keep that. And all the way to the edge of that path, which is where my foot is, where this foot is, there, is going to be planting. So obviously what we'll do as well, because of the way that the sun comes up, sets over that way, the more shadier elements obviously go closer to the house and also more on this side, because the sun swings round and then we get the sun on this bit all afternoon till it sets into the evening, okay? So this is going to be all gone, and just imagine all of it planting. You know, this is a big change in this garden. We used to make changes. Last time we made changes like this, it was in the Sheffield garden, wasn't it? When we used to be able to make whatever changes we wanted, and it's the same here now. So there's a lot going on, and it's going to be prairie planting. That's prairie inspired space, this area. So it's going to be lovely. But you can see already in that enthusiasm and that excitement when you've got plants already there. So many more plants on this side, and probably so many more to buy as well, because I get the feeling we're going to need a lot more, and it's just going to be amazing. But this decking area is a nice space because you do need a space to sit in a garden and to relax. And we've got the table, we've got the chairs, we've got the decking, we've got stones. We're going to need more gravel. Might need more slate, but although we're going to be using the slate that's here, that's filled up where the pond used to be, because basically the pond area liner was filled with slate, so we can use that and transfer that along. So we're saving money, we're recycling what we've already got where possible. We're not going out and buying things randomly, you know, and just spending money unnecessarily. What we're doing is trying to use what we've already got. Then if we do have to buy things, that's fine, that's okay, but we're trying to use what's already in the garden or what we have already, and that's a better way to do things. It's much more rewarding as well, because you know, it's not just cost effective, it's more enjoyable. You feel like you're doing something really useful, you're not just getting rid of things. And there are some things that there might not be a use for instance the red tiles. Mum had these in her garden at the front, on a front path in a terraced house around the corner, and you know, I remember the kitchen tiles as well were similar to this. They were red and black throughout, the original from when the house was built. So you know, they're not really useful in this houses from this era, or certainly in this garden from this era that this house was built. And I don't think there's much we're going to be able to do with them. We'll see, but I don't think there is. I don't think Paul's got any plans with them. I think he's basically saying they're going. I think they should go, really. So they'll go to a good home, though. But again, people can use them, and that's the beauty of it. Now, I'm trying to think if there's anything else. Over here, forgot to show you, there's a few aqualegias in this corner looking really, really good. They're great, they come into their own at the minute. So aqualegias, or granny's bonnet as they're known. My favourite seed are actually from these plants. Aqualegia, lovely, small, black, shiny seeds. They're so beautiful. These beautiful rock hard seeds. They're actually my favourite seed to collect and to sow as well. One more thing, or a couple more things I'd like to show you. I'd like to tell you about, firstly, one word, aconitum. You'll know what I mean. Monk's hood. Really nice plant. Now you know that this, I'm going to go round, so you stay there. The cameraman says stay there, and I'm going to go round and walk on this mound because I'm enjoying walking on soil and being naughty. Going back to my second childhood. Right, monk's hood, okay? Aconitum, really great plant. If you cannot grow delphiniums, because like us, we love all nature and we don't use any kind of slug and snail prevention. If you're trying to grow plants such as delphiniums, you're not going to have success because they're going to be obliterated. So the best thing to do is grow aconitum instead. I know it's not the same, but they're just as beautiful in their own right. There is a snag. There's a price to pay for such beauty. All of this plant, all of it, is toxic, but the roots in particular, okay? So all of it's toxic, especially the roots. So this is one of those that if I was out here now and I think, oh, I'm going to plant some aconitum, let's plant some monk's hood in the garden. Yes, I'll get a piece, I'll take that out of the pot, I'll start touching it with my hands and everything. The next minute I'm touching my mouth and touching my face. It's not going to end well. Really, you need to be careful. You need to don some gloves. Preferably, I'd say, I'm extra cautious. I've not handled this plant for years since we lived in Sheffield, but I'll tell you now, when I have handled it in the past, I would don some gloves that I can literally, once I've transferred the plant or, planted it, or messed around with the plant or dug it up, whatever I've done with it, I would literally have something that I could throw away. But I'm just overcautious, okay? But you do need gloves on, and you do need to make sure your hands are well washed, okay? So, aconitum, monk's hood, amazing, great, grow it, but be careful, okay? And there's a reason I'm saying that is because you don't want to be poisoned or to poison someone accidentally. Now, I've just made a right mess there, walking all over the garden. There is something I'm going to say, something I say every year. Phlox paniculata spatsoma. Phlox paniculata spatsoma is one of my favourite of all the phloxes. It's robust, it just keeps going, it spreads really quickly, it's great, it fills a border, fantastic scent during midsummer, just when you need it, and it's not obliterated by slugs and snails. So if you're after a special phlox for this year, so Phlox paniculata spatsoma might be the one for you. There's also, over this side, something we've been getting so much pleasure from, this biennial wallflower, okay? Absolutely stunning. The scent here is amazing. The bees have been enjoying it and we have been enjoying it, and I'm so sorry that we're gonna, it's not going to last. I wish it was just one of those that will come up every year. It's not, it's biennial. So we're going to sow some more seed this year of this one because we do want to keep this in the garden. Why wouldn't you? It's provided us with so much pleasure and so much scent, and you can smell it throughout this whole area of the garden. It's lovely. It really is nice. Everything is doing just as it should be, and I am so impressed. I can't wait to get the trees in. So as I've said, the apple tree is going to go in the central border there. Over there, so that central area, that circle, that's where the apple tree's growing, and the Sorbus autumn spire, which has beautiful foliage and beautiful berries during the autumn. It says this delightful and compact mountain ash is a great choice for a smaller garden and offers year-round interests. Wonderful foliage, a delightful display of flowers, and a fine crop of ornamental berries. So it's a nice variety. They're going to be lovely. Autumn spire, and that's going to be nice. That's going to go over that area there. So where that mound is, somewhere where that mound is. Not right up to the fence, but closer to the fence. Obviously we need planting space, but not right up to the fence. But that'll be nice there. It's just great to have trees in a garden. I think it's really important. It adds height, it adds structure, but it's great for the birds as well. They're safe away from the cats, and it's just great. It's just nice to have trees. Nice to see trees blowing in the wind, just like that one. Just like that one. Hydrangeas. Now, these were taken from the original bush over there. Was it a couple of years ago? So it was a while back now. And so these are just cuttings, and look how well that they're doing. They could quite easily go in the garden somewhere and become really massive shrubs. Really great hydrangeas, so easy to take cuttings, and look at what you get. You know, you get some amazing plants. Taking cuttings allows you, it frees you up with money. It allows you to do lots of other things with that cash, instead of constantly spending and spending and spending. I know not everybody's got the time or the inclination to do it, or they worry about doing it, but that's what people like us are here for. Or, you know, you can read books, you can go online, you can see videos from people like us that are just trying to help bring that message that, you know, there are things that you can do to save money, and you can grow your own plants, and you can do your own cuttings. And you know, Paul's always done cuttings. I've always done cuttings. I remember watching my nan do cuttings, and she used to take cuttings from people's gardens as well. She'd walk past, she always had a pair of scissors in a bag, a plastic bag, a few plastic bags, and she'd be walking along past people's houses and just taking cuttings and things from. But she did, people did that, and she's amazing. I miss her very much. She taught me so much. Everything's looking great. It is starting to rain. I'm going to wind this video up. Thank you so much for watching, and thank you for having a quick tour of the wonderful progress that's going on here in the garden. It's great to see you all. We will see you all again soon on the next one. Please share our videos on social media. If you've not taken a look at our store so far, have a look at the store, see if there's anything on there that you'd like to buy. Thank you so much for watching. Click the like button, subscribe if you've not already done so, and we very much look forward to seeing you on the next one. Also, any comments, drop them in the comments box below. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again soon.